Hello, everybody. My name is Laurie Reyon, and I am the keeper of the Omni Dimensional Mystery School with my two cat children. And right now you're seeing in the background here, Samuel. Most of the time when you're looking at videos of our work or seeing YouTubes, you're seeing Master Cat Puddah, who is the aspect of Seth that's pretty much teaching this class tonight. But Sam wanted to come up and be visual tonight. I'm sure there's a reason that will be revealed. He's a super great guy. I was just saying he's 13 years old, has been with me since he was 6 months old. And we've been through a lot together. He's amazing. And such a great brother, big brother kind of for Puddah. Very supportive of the work that she's chosen to do in the world. It's pretty awesome. So as in all things that we do, we want to welcome you to the content of 4 weeks of channeling with Seth. And our focus throughout the 4 weeks will be to work with you to channel the wisdom of a being of light, which will include various categories that we'll be working with tonight and next week, so that you can hopefully ultimately you'll make a choice of one being that has approached you that you feel comfortable with. But before you do that, I encourage you to practice with several beings so you can figure out who's a good match for you. And I have a good exercise for that we'll do next week. But it'll be from the categories of the angelic realm, the ascended realm, the animal realm, the elemental realm. Those are the categories I think are best to choose from when you're summoning someone to come that wants to work with you, that can bring forth a lot of information that you obviously don't have. Like we're doing tonight with Seth. Seth is the name of the oversoul of the being we know as Master Cat Puddah. And I had Master Cat Puddah for 4 lifetimes. Until this life, in 2011, I didn't know I was with Seth. There were a lot of hints. I wasn't listening. I just thought she was a powerful cat. And I knew she was, a high being, but I didn't know about Seth and all the things that we're going to talk about, even though there was opportunities for me to do that. So now when we're working with, well, here's an example. People used to say to me all the time, she channels her cat. And it used to irritate me because I thought, just because I'm telepathic doesn't mean I'm a channel. I would think I'm just having a conversation. I mostly talk to dogs and cats, horses, but I'm not channeling them. I'm just listening to them. And then I'm telling you what they're saying, almost like we're in the room with someone that's here from France. And there happens to be a translator that can tell you what the person's saying in the French language and translate it into the English language. It's like that. That's not channeling. That's transcribing, right? Or interpreting. So that's how I looked at it. And pretty much that's still how I still look at my conversations with my 2 cats. Or if you called me to do a session for your animals and I ended up having a nice talk with them, I would tell you what they said. Okay, so that would be the interpreter. When we're channeling, we're working with a being that almost always doesn't have a form in the sense of the higher self. Okay, it's like we're working with Seth, who is the name of the monad, or we'll call the higher self of the cat Puddah, but is also the soul name for many other beings. There are many aspects of Seth. There are actually 12. Okay, so let's announce that today is March 25th, 2021, and this is the first class of 4 classes where we'll be working with what we just talked about. And everything that we do, we work to raise your vibration, to raise my vibration, and to come into a vibration where it's much easier to have these conversations, because the beings that we're summoning would not be available to you in a normal vibration. Okay, we have to work to get that vibration up so we can hear them. And if you're walking around in your daily life and beings are contacting you that want you to channel them, probably they're not of the light. Probably not. I mean, maybe, but probably not. Or you wouldn't be able to hear them in your daily life walking around. So they're wanting your energy. They're wanting to manipulate you or manipulate other beings to get their energy, because they're not connected to God. Okay, not that they couldn't be, but they're probably not. So there's a discernment that comes in now with this class, where you want to make absolutely certain that the being is for the highest and best good and would be sanctioned by God, basically, to communicate with you. There'd be a contract involved. And perhaps that contract will be formed tonight, or maybe it'll be formed next week, or maybe it's been formed for a long time and you're just going to access it tonight. That may be happening too. Okay. But everything we do is in sacred space. And the intention, of course, is now to create a sacred boundary around your house, architecture of the sacred space, which is a diamond, or sometimes called the octahedron. So if everyone would go into their heart, take a deep breath, and move all your energy out of your mind There'll be no analyzing or thinking. We're all just going to move into the creative feeling state now. And we're going to anchor our light now down into the earth. Just drop your light into Gaia. And immediately you should feel an infusion of light that's coming up from the earth, up into your body, up your legs, up into your heart. And this is your mother. This is Gaia. Some people just call her Mother Earth. She is your mother. She loves you. And she has the energy, the particular mixture of energy that you need to maintain a 0-point energy and to continue to raise your vibration and awaken. So I would recommend that you do that. What we just did is anchor your light into the earth several times a day, certainly first thing in the morning. Okay. So now let's push the prana that we're receiving up through the crown chakra. Open up your crown chakra and send your light up to touch the sun. And the sun, again, is a portal. It's a stargate, a gateway, if you will, for us to receive source light, God's light. And this is the energy of what I call prime creator that flows down through the great central sun into other galaxies, and comes into our solar system, and it enters the vibrancy of our planet through the sun, the local sun that we look at. It's also the energy of Archangel Sandalphon, if that interests you. That is really the name of our sun god. Let's breathe that energy down now, cascading over your head into your prana tube and down into your heart. So now you're breathing the energy of the earth and you're breathing the energy of the sun. And I want you to consider now the part of you that decided to come to earth and incarnate. That would be the soulic energy. And this is the eternal part of you, the immortal part that has no beginning, it has no end. It just chooses where it wants to go. And if it wants to incarnate down into a body and have a physical experience, then the best thing you can do as the being that's honoring that in your physical body is to connect to your soul and give all of your permission and your energy for your soul to guide your life, opening up to that communication. Certainly for any kind of class like tonight, where the soul would really, you'd really want your soul's approval before you start channeling. Okay. So it's also the ultimate energy that we call triangulation. And that puts us in a vibration outside of linear time, outside of duality, outside of judgment. In the world that we're in, there really is no right or wrong now. There's simply free will choice and how you honor it and use it wisely. Okay, now the organizing principles of the universe in all realms include the 7 directions. So let's turn energetically to the south. And tonight I'm going to use archangels. As some of you know, I have a pattern I'm using right now. It certainly doesn't have to be a certain archangel on a certain direction. That's not at all the way it has to be. You could invoke anybody that you want to come and be a part of your property and your own personal experience and your own personal vibration. But I'm asking Archangel Uriel to come to the south and to hold the column of light. And actually, he's already here. So he's just invoking it again, brightening the light. And I say, oh, the south is open. Now we go to the west, and I'm same thing. I'm calling in Archangel Gabriel, who's holding my column of light, and now we'll hold yours. And Archangel Gabriel could be really helpful in this type of session work because he's all about communication, clear communication. And he can work with you to strengthen your verbal communication, your written communication, and your telepathic communication. Thank you, Gabriel, and the west is open. Now to the north, we're going to call in our favorite Archangel Michael. And Michael is here to help you with what we call your path, the path of the soul, the path of the human that comes to earth, forgets who you are, and then starts the journey to remember. And he assists you to staying on that path and, committing to the things that you really said you would do before you were born. And so the path of awakening becomes really joyful and fun, as opposed to arduous or challenging. And Michael loves to help. So call him in, and the north is open. Now we're going to turn to the east, which I call the healing direction. And we're going to bring in Archangel Raphael. Raphael is God's healing angel, and he brings a huge infusion of light and energy that is considered alpha. It's a beautiful green healing light. So let that wash over you as the east opens. And also he comes in with many other healers. And so if you end up channeling a healing being, a healing angel or a healing guide, I'm sure he'll help you. And also want to recognize the 2 humpback whales that work here at the Omni Dimensional Mystery School through the Whale and Dolphin Energy Light Medicine School, which is, under the umbrella of that. And that's Bella and Humphrey. They're 2 beautiful humpback whales that will bring you now the violet flame if you ask for it, and allow that to bring you healing light. Now see the 4 directions that we've opened form a pyramid, a 4-sided pyramid over your property, over your home. And that's the top half of the octahedron. Now invert that down into the earth. Exact copy, as above, so below. Sense and feel that 8-sided now pyramid. And you have created sacred space. Let's drop into the earth one more time, center below, where we started, where we grounded. And I call in Archangel Chamuel. Chamuel is all about reminding you to spend more time outside, to connect with nature, to honor the earth. And now let's rise up above our house to the apex of center above. I'm going to call in Archangel Jophiel. Jophiel's been fun for me to work with center above these last months. She's sort of like looking at an angel that's a mermaid. She's all about tranquility. She shows me the beautiful aquamarine colors. She's always peaceful, like floating. She loves to go out on the boat. She loves to be in the ocean. And now the last angel we're calling in is Archangel Zadkiel. And we'll move into our own heart space now, our own heart chamber. Beautiful. Now call in your master guides. If you don't already know, you have 3. And it's important to know them and meet them and work with them. In my class it is. Call in your animal guides, like I have Samuel, and just, in the other room I have Master Puddah. She'll make an appearance. Beautiful. And you might want to call in your star family, that planet or part of the galaxy where you existed before you came to Earth. Beautiful. And our sacred space for this class is open. So I'd like everybody to, let's see what I can do. We won't do this every week, but today I'm going to start up here at the top with BZ. And I'd like you to unmute yourself. And I just briefly like you to say, my name is, and I live in, so I would say, my name is Laurie Reyon, and I live in Oceanside, California. And then we'll go to the next person. So we can put your energy into the sacred space. So BZ, would you go first?
My name is BZ, and I live in Oso, Washington, in the mountains, just outside of Seattle.
Welcome. Alicia, would you go next? Okay, I see your mouth moving, but I don't hear anything. So you probably have to turn your volume up.
My name is Alicia, and I live in Riverside, California.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Let's go to Jan.
Hi, my name is Jan Anderson, and I live right outside of Boston, Massachusetts.
Welcome, Jan.
Thank you.
Let's go to Manon.
Hi, my name is Manon Davy. I live in Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Welcome. And now Diane.
Hi, my name is Diane Drakely, and I live in Virginia.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Sarita.
Hello everyone, my name is Sarita Forsland. I live in Portland, Oregon.
Nice to meet you. Welcome. And now Tina.
My name is Tina Wettengale. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Hi, Tina, and welcome. Okay, down on the 3rd row, C. Bean.
Hi, I'm C. Bean. I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Nice to meet you. Welcome.
Thank you. You too.
Yvonne.
Hi, my name is Yvonne Rogers, and I live in Riverside, California.
Nice to meet you too. Okay, Jean?
Hi, I'm Jean. I live in Melbourne, Australia.
Wow, welcome. Okay, Debbie?
My name is Debbie Loshbaum, and I'm holding down the South in Atlanta, Georgia.
Welcome. Okay, Chikako?
Yes. Hi, my name is Chicago Seabus. I live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Catherine?
Hi, my name is Catherine and I live in Boise, Idaho.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Bavari?
I live in the northwest suburbs of Chicago.
Welcome. Okay, Chris?
Hi, my name's Chris, and I am also in Portland, Oregon. So happy to be here.
Welcome. Okay, Sharon?
Hi, my name is Sharon and I live in Sebastopol, California.
Okay. Welcome, Sharon. Now, Therese?
Hi, my name is Therese and I live in Ocala, Florida.
Welcome. Nicole?
Yes, I'm Nicole. I live in Rockland, California.
Okay, welcome. Do you have a webcam?
I've got a brand new computer and I'm still trying to figure it all out.
Okay. Just during the class when you're sharing it, it's always nice for people to see your face. So
Thank you.
Figure that out. Sure. Okay. So welcome everybody to Channeling with Seth. And first thing now we're going to do is we're going to work again on our vibration. And we're going to do a meditation that I call the unity breath. This is, again, a version of what I do in the mornings. I have for several years now. It changes the vibration of your body to 0 point energy. And 0 point energy is stepping out of any kind of analytical process where you completely surrender the mind. I should tell you now, if you like to analyze things or you like to think about things and try to figure it out, this class is not for you. Okay, you won't do well, and basically it's crash and burn. This is all from the heart. It's all from the space of the emotional body, which is the feeling state, and it's all from basically not having any idea what's going to happen until it happens, because you're going to be dealing with other beings, spiritual beings, and there's no way you can predict what they're going to say or do, or again, try to analyze it or figure it out. It's all about surrender and innocence and purity, and coming into this vibration again of 0 point is neutrality, where nothing can really rock your boat or move you out of the spiritual awareness that that you're God, that you're a piece of God, you're divinity embodied, you're this eternal, immortal, huge soul that has a physical body, and we're going to try to merge those so that you can merge your energy with at least the consciousness of the voice of another being. But it doesn't work very well if you can't merge with your own higher self. So think about that and think about, how am I going to do that? Well, the first thing is, again, you really need mother's light. You need mother's energy. And who is your mother? It's the earth, Gaia herself. And who's your father? Well, for all intents and purposes, the representation of your father is source light, and that comes through the sun. So we wouldn't be able to survive without source light. So the more you can connect to it and bring that light into your body, the easier it is to talk to the beings in the higher dimensions and the realms. And then, of course, you need the triangulation, which is coming back to the heart and allowing the heart to present to you what I call solution energy. Okay, so enjoy the unity breath meditation. This comes through the Flower of Life teachings. And prior to that, it came through the Tibetan teachings. And one of the teachers that worked with me to create this is Drunvalo Melchizedek, probably about, 10 years ago. And I highly recommend it for anyone. So it's a good opportunity to put your blindfold on, to block out any kind of physical light, to relax, sit with your spine straight, and just go into a regular rhythm of breathing and enjoy. This is a Unity Breath meditation by Laurie Reyon. Allow yourself to sit comfortably with your spine straight.
developing a regular rhythm of breathing, turning your awareness to your heart space. Begin thinking about Mother Earth and all that she does for us. She provides life for life. She helps us all to be grounded and continually changing. She supports every being. Allow your heart to become filled with love and gratitude for all that she is and all that she does. Feeling love and gratitude for the trees, the plants, the rocks, the soil, the water, the air, and the fire. Knowing that all of these elements belong to Mother Earth as we do, she will always love us. And when your heart is so filled with love and gratitude that it can no longer be contained, with your intention, send that love directly into the heart of Mother Earth, and then wait. Wait for her to send her love back to you. She always does. She has always loved us and always will. Just allow that love to stay in your heart in a tiny ball, feeling the love of the Mother inside of you. And then turn your awareness and your consciousness to Father Sky. Father Sky is the place of infinite possibilities, the bigger picture perspective, the places, beyond our imagining. And allow your love for Father Sky to begin building in your heart more love and gratitude. Love and gratitude for the planets, the stars, the comets, the meteors, the galaxies, and the universes and dimensions beyond what we are even aware of. The limitless possibilities. And when that love and gratitude in your heart can no longer be contained in your heart space, send it with a powerful intention straight up directly through the top of your head into the heart of Father Sky. And then wait. Wait for Father Sky to send his love back to you. Because he has always loved you, and he always will. And when you receive that love, place it in a ball in your heart next to that of Mother Earth. And continue feeling that love and gratitude in your heart. Feel your unique connection with Source and life everywhere. Open yourself completely to invite in Source to enter your fields, filling you with unconditional love. As you do this, allow yourself to expand all your unconditional love and gratitude with each breath, filling your large pranosphere, larger and larger until it can no longer be contained. And when you are ready, with your intention, let your energy go as far as you can, expanding and radiating in all directions to the unlimited ends of the universe, allowing this energy to return to you, magnified, anchoring into your heart center, creating a flow that breaks all barriers of separatism and polarity. Enjoy this connection deeply, and stay in this place as long as you wish.
Nice. How are you feeling?
Amazing.
Good. Good. Feels like we've definitely raised our vibration. So that's good. We're going to talk about channeling for a little bit and see if anybody has any specific questions as we share some information. So I wrote the question down, what is channeling? And this is a message from Seth. Many times throughout the ages, kings and queens, mystics, spiritual leaders have received celestial channeled messages of empowerment to assist others. Even the sacred book that we call the Bible was channeled. At this time in Earth's history, Seth suggests that every one of us has the ability to channel the light of another soul. Just going to pause for a minute and remind everyone to mute your room. Okay. The ability to channel the light of another soul, that soul is seeking to assist you and to connect with you. We are delighted that you are called to this adventure into what we call expanded consciousness. Channeling a light being means expanding your capacity to hold more light, because you'll actually be holding the consciousness of two people or two beings. Light is information, and light is wisdom. It is a noble cause, and I am here to assist you in this adventure. I am Seth. So take a moment to connect to the energy of Seth. If it helps you, visualize the body of Master Cat Puddah, but it may just help you just to say, I wish to now to connect to Seth. And in various ways, we'll be doing that tonight. So Seth says, really with me, when we formed this, he said, in the years of you becoming what we call a universal channel, I'm able to channel just about everybody now that I choose to channel. I've opened up to the realms of possibility. As you probably know, most of you know, I channel the humpback whales when they approach me. I'm not able to approach them, but they do approach me, and I do channel them when they do. I also channel dolphins, and I channel ascended dolphins. I channel the council of the ascended dolphins, and I am able to contact them and reach them. I've channeled various angels throughout the years, more specifically Archangel Shamuel than probably the other angels. Channeled Saint Germain. I've channeled Mother Earth, basically Mother Gaia. I've channeled the vibration of different crystals at different times, and also different elemental beings. But my main channel is the vibration of Master Cat Puddah through the vibration of her soul, which is Seth. And that has brought me self-empowerment. And that, of course, would be my first goal for you, is you to find more awareness, more confidence in your own vibration. Also like you to be able to open up to maybe by the end of this class, where that you're receiving messages on a regular basis that you agree to receive. Again, remember, it's a co-creation. You both have to agree to it. That are really benefiting you. I mean, there's information that you didn't have before, or maybe in a specific way that you didn't understand how to use it before. Also, there's hope that you will start to receive messages that you ultimately will share with humanity. Maybe through radio, maybe through television, maybe through a book, maybe through podcasting, maybe through teaching a class. I've had a lot of school teachers come to channeling over the years. I think this is our 5th year of doing channeling classes, and find ways to enhance their ability to be a really cool teacher and find new ways to reach the kids, you know. Also, I think just information on how to continue on your spiritual path at the rate that feels comfortable to you. Right now, I think most of us can say we're on an accelerated path. There's so much information and energy coming to the planet. It's almost like, I don't know, we're getting beaten up with solar light right now in a good way. If you're not in tune with your own spirituality and your ability to hold light, you're getting beaten up by solar light and you're not feeling good. Look at all the different people that are in the world that are acting out. They're not their normal selves. They're picking up guns, and all different things are going on, where I think if that person got calm and you were able to interview them, they would tell you, this is not how I normally am. I'm just sort of whacked out, you know. So that's what light can do. And that is what light is doing for our planet. So more than ever, it's important to be grounded and to be aware, you know, and as we become aware, to say, I'm always want to work this program, so to speak, to become more aware. And then lots of people have gone on to add to their coaching programs by being able to channel or to start a coaching program. So those are the reasons we wrote down. Maybe you have another reason that you want to channel, but there's all kinds of reasons. I think and I'll try to share as many stories along the way as we can, but it wasn't that long ago. I had an old friend contact me that lives up in Ventura, and she wanted to come down, and she wanted a session with Puddah. And she wanted to ask her a lot of questions. And the questions that she wrote down weren't anything that I would have any information about as Laurie. That was about information on how to create orgone. You guys know what orgone is? The chemicals that would go into it, how to mix them, how to buy them, how to set the gels and the forms. And Puddah started to channel, of course, through Seth. And not only did she give her the recipe and the mixture for it, she told her where the information, the stuff was on sale, like down at Lowe's. It was like she knew everything about it. And I didn't know that she knew everything about orgone. When I say she, I mean Seth, until somebody asked me to channel that information for her. So that may happen for you. You might start channeling somebody that you make your contract with, and they're sharing information now about something that is going to help someone else that you don't have a clue about. So you just become the mouthpiece. That's pretty cool. It's really kind of fun. So we'll see how that goes. And then we'll go through some information with people that have channeled before, so they already know the process, or I should say the process and how it works for them. And that would include someone who's able to ground and open their crown chakra and successfully bring in another energy. Some people channel through merging, like actually merging their physical form, their energy with the other being. That's my preference always. And some people don't want to merge their energy with the other. They'll ask the being to like stand behind them, for example. Some people do that. So there's no cut and dry rules about how it's going to work. We're going to experiment with it, and we're going to find out what works for you. Okay, so I'm going to move now to some information that's on a PowerPoint here. I'm going to share the screen. And this is Master Cat Puddah. She's here in the room now, so she's making herself known. This is a quote from Puddah. She says, "I am a catalyst for the creation of a higher vibration. I bring love whenever that intention or desire is allowed for in my presence. I am an ascension guide. I am Master Cat Puddah. I am Seth." So when she says she's an ascension guide, she basically told me, so am I, and that she was here to teach me. And this is some 20 years ago, about learning what even ascension means. So later, about 6 years ago now, I channeled what is considered, from her perspective, the answer to the question, what is ascension? And at some point we'll share that. It's part of our movie now. But this particular statement she came up with when we first started taking her to Cryon events. And Cryon recognized her as an ascended master and asked if she would come to all of the events that are in our area. And then, of course, 4 years ago, we started traveling with them. And Puddah started doing her healing work with the dolphins and whales. And the people that are on the Cryon team would tell me they always knew when we came into the room because of the vibration would change. So I personally was not aware of that. Of course, I live with her. But the people that were of the Cryon team, if they didn't see me come into the room and sit down in the back of the room later, like Barbara Paris would come to me and she would say, "Did you come in about 3:30 with Puddah?" And I'd say, "Yeah." And she said, "She shifted the whole room. She's such a catalyst. We just love it when she's here. She lifts everyone up." So it's a wonderful description of her energy and how we work together for the greater good. So channeling a being of light is opening up different seals in your body that previously have been protected, basically, to keep you on a particular timeline or a particular place of growth, where the DNA in your body is sort of being monitored by your higher self and how that opens up. And that would have something to do with your free will, because if you're going to accelerate that program, you're going to open the seals of encodement that are a part of the DNA. There's an insulatory material that's around the strands of DNA, and there are 12. And some of that has to open up in order for you to really hear. And it just gets better. I should tell you that. It just gets better. The more you do it, the easier it gets. It's sort of like if you're listening to a radio station and the volume's kind of low, and you go over and you turn the volume all the way up and it's still a little bit low. You're still having to strain to hear it, but yet you can hear it. Over time, the volume will come up and you'll be able to sit and hear clearly without straining. So that's another way I like to describe it. So in order to understand this, we have to remember to come back to the heart. It is time for humans to begin to live and create from their hearts. And when they do, they start to remember the sacred geometry that we're composed of and that the universe is composed of. They start to remember the teachings of the flower of life. They start to remember their own living Merkaba, which is their life body. And they start to find what we call solution energy. So Seth would tell you that in every single moment of your life, from the moment you're born, you are observed. There are beings around you that are observing you, including your master guides, but other beings too that would be of the angelic frequency or of benevolent star brothers and sisters that are watching over you. That's their job. And they watch to make certain that you're not going too fast, you're not going too slow, you don't step off the path. They can't force you to do anything, but they're always nudging you, always encouraging you, and sometimes even encouraging you to slow down a little bit, get some more rest. But all of this knowledge that I speak of comes from you being in your heart. And I highly recommend it. So it's time for us to use our free will for our highest and best good, not use our free will to accumulate masses of wealth or property or stockpile things. You know, it's good to have security. It's good to have money. It's good to have a home, good to have food, good to have a car. But you know what I'm saying, to not bring your focus to amassing things out of fear. Once you know that you're, I guess you would say, successful and that the energy is flowing, you've established a foundation where you take good care of yourself, that's when this can really kick in. Is when you don't have to worry about survival. You don't have to worry about, well, anything. You're just floating in the sense of I am God and I'm here to help. And then you'll start to remember more. You may even have beings appear to you that would be considered family, and they'll want to nudge you again to remember more. Seth would also tell you that every single person on the planet right now is on a nanny camp from the Pleiadian realm. The Pleiadians are our brothers and sisters. They're all, you know, benevolent, loving beings, heart-centered beings. You may end up channeling the Pleiadian. I love channeling the Pleiadians. I was even told this last week that I'm going to create a class called Meet the Pleiadians coming up this spring. And I'm going to really look forward to that since I've been talking to them for a long time. And I highly recommend you do too. They just love us. And they're so excited to share their healing modalities with us, their technology, their history. But right now, there's still so many people on the planet that if they appeared, like let's say on the White House lawn, the military would probably shoot at them. And they aren't really looking forward to that. You know what I mean? They're really looking forward to being our long lost brothers and sisters that get invited to dinner instead, you know. So they say it's time to remember that life is a choice. And right now to acknowledge the creator within you as you start to connect with these other beings. Okay, I love this mantra and it works. What I think and what I feel, I bring into form. I am a conscious creator. Let's all say that, and you can keep your room muted, but say it out loud at your house, okay? What I think and what I feel, I bring into form. I am a conscious creator. Let's do that again and really feel it. What I think and what I feel, I bring into form. I am a conscious creator. So in other words, what this is saying is law of attraction. There isn't anything that you can't have if you're willing to align your vibration with it. In other words, if you don't get what you want, it's actually you that's stopping you from getting it. You just have to get clear on that. Okay, so it's making friends with yourself, that higher part of you. Okay, so people ask about Seth. You see the soul diagram on the right side, and you look down to the bottom, there's a blue arrow. And if you have the book, The Keys of Enoch, and you go to page 273, you'll see at the very bottom where the kind of the big toe is, Seth is the first soul that's channeled by in the Keys of Enoch by J.J. Hurtak. And he's channeling Archangel Metatron. So over the years, so many stories started to make sense when Puddah would tell me she was part of the first inception to come to the earth, the first inception to go to the Pleiadians, first to do so many things. And I would say, how come you're always first? She said, because I was the first soul. I was part of that. So, and I still am. So it's kind of a big statement to declare the ancientness of Master Cat Puddah, but it's true. And I've finally aligned myself to it. And when I did, things got better. So the Sethian system, according to the Nag Hammadi manuscripts, which I recommend you read, the Nag Hammadi library is a collection of 13 ancient books called codices, containing over 50 texts. They were discovered in Upper Egypt in 1945. This immensely important discovery includes a large number of primary Gnostic Gospels, texts once thought to have been entirely destroyed during the early Christian struggle to define orthodoxy. Scriptures such as the Gospel of Seth, interesting, huh? And when you read it, or you read the translation of it, it's very much like talking to Puddah, very much like looking at the channeling that Jane Roberts did when she channeled Seth. That was in the 60s. So these codices started to be released in the 90s, at least in the world I was living in, and I started reading them. There's the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, the Gospel of Lazarus, all books that are written out of the Bible by the Roman Catholic Church. And I think if you listen to the names I mentioned, you'll understand why, because they talked about things that the Roman Catholic Church did not want you to know about, including that Jesus was married and had children and so forth, had a very much more normal life than we realize. Okay, this system is founded upon what we must understand as a fundamental teaching of Sethianism. This is the belief that these Gnostics, that they were the seed of Seth, that is the physical and at the same time pneumatic or spiritual posterity of Seth. So Seth was the first soul to come. Naturally, there's a large part of the population of the planet that would be a descendant of Seth. I am absolutely a descendant of Seth. Perhaps you are too. You might want to feel into that. There were three main starseed souls at the time. One was Methuselah, and one was Seth, and what was the third one? This one. I'll think of it. I'll think of it. They made a movie about him. He was Noah's father. That's what she's telling me. Do you remember the name of Noah's father? Okay, it's going to bug me, but it'll come to me. Okay, so as children of Seth, they are saved by nature. And to this concept belong primarily and immediately to the concept of the heavenly, earthly, or earthly heavenly Seth as the Gnostic Redeemer. This is especially clear in the Gospel of the Egyptians. The Sethian teachings, however, can also appear in such a form that the real Redeemer is the heavenly, earthly son of Adam, who was Seth. And that, of course, was written out of the Bible as well, at least of the current Bible. So here's a channel that came through Jane Roberts, who channeled the energy of Seth. Now, she always visualized Seth as a man, as a human. And Puddah would be the first to tell you that she's had more human lifetimes than she has had cat lifetimes. Okay. Humans, you are given the gift of the gods. You create your own reality according to your beliefs. Yours is the creative energy that makes your world. There are no limitations to the self except those you believe in. You create your life through the inner power of your being, whose source is within you, yet beyond the self that you know. The source of creativity springs from your own inner identity, which is never completely materialized in flesh. And so you always have unused portions of creativity at your command. Sorry about that, I need to fix that word. So there's a good example of the energy we're working with right now. Eternal validity of the soul. So you might say, why is she a cat? Why is the aspect of Seth that I live with a cat? And then she showed me Bast. For people that have studied the Egyptian teachings, Bast was a very powerful cat that worked with the kings of Egypt, the pharaohs. Bast was an Egyptian goddess And the energy of Bast is also the energy of Seth. So she was giving advice to the kings way back when. And, you know, I had an Akashic reading, I think 2005, maybe, when I first started to study the Akashic records with my teacher. And she told me that. She said, you're connected to the energy of Bast. And the being you call Puddah was Bast. And you had your own pyramid, and Akhenaten would come in and sit down. All the cats would jump up on him. And the cats would advise him on how to run the kingdom. This sounds a lot like cats to me. So interesting. Here's a more current quote. Master Puddah Seth tells us the animals are the greater body of healers and teachers on this planet, that they live in a vibration of love that's outside of duality. So animals live in the world of what we call yeses. They're here to create joy and healing, to expand our awareness of how to play, you know, how to balance our lives. Each different species of animal has specific teachings. And so we'll just start with the cat. You probably already know that the cat is here to teach self-love and freedom. No, nobody's going to tame the cat. Nobody's going to train the cat or tell the cat to stand in line or go over here, sit here. People ask me all the time, how do I train Puddah? I don't train Puddah. I think if you asked her, she would say she's trying to train me. So far, it's going pretty well. I've decided I like to do what she says because it works. So, and as far as the vibration, the animal vibration is quite a bit higher than the human vibration, for obvious reasons. They don't have duality. They don't play in the third dimension. They're fifth dimensional or higher beings, but they're not succumbing to the third dimension by being here. Another example would be dogs. Dogs are absolute teachers of unconditional love. Show me a human that can love like a dog can. I'd like to meet them. I think one day maybe we'll be able to love like that, but not yet, to where they absolutely put you first. And anybody who has a dog will probably agree with me. So some of the things that have happened since I've been with this particular vibration, this incarnation of Master Cat Puddah, and she just turned 13 years old in this body. And you have to remember, I've had her 4 times before. So I've been in Puddah school, Seth school, a very long time. And Master Cat Puddah says, opportunities to work with people physically and with the Endar crystals. Depending on how much time we have, I'll tell you a lot of stories, but it was her idea, of course, to get the first Endar crystal. And from that point on, over time, we became stewards for them. And I realized that was one of my contracts. And now there's no room or purse or anything that I have, car, that doesn't have Endar crystals in it, which means I'm more and more using their vibration to transcend the third dimension, because these are off-world beings that have no duality, incredibly healing. And Puddah understands that. And here's her working with some of them. So when we first started doing it, she called it crystal cat healing. But the reality check is, like, the person on the massage table is actually doing a whale healing with us. And she's listening to a whale meditation. Of course, she's got her blindfold on so she can block out the light. See, she's got Endar crystals all over her body. And this particular woman wanted to open her heart. She said she'd never been able to open her heart without crying. And that was the intention, and it worked. So Seth says, so do you want to channel? And you're obviously going to say yes, or you wouldn't be here. She says, step number 1 is make peace with where you are. If you're challenged right now by anything, I don't know if it's, do you need to go to the grocery store, or do you need to, your kids need to finish their homework? Is your husband not home? Are you worried about money? Is the car not running right? All of that. You must make peace with exactly where you are vibrationally right now. And you must be okay with that. In order to channel, you have to remove all that other stuff, all that clutter. And then you have to realize, as you remove it or set it aside, that you created it. So it's not going to hurt you. It's going to teach you. It's part of the 3D life, right? I mean, nobody said there wouldn't be any leaves in the yard. We'd never have to rake leaves. Nobody said it wouldn't snow or it wouldn't rain too much sometimes. The point is, we're having an experience. We're having a journey. And if you acknowledge that you created every part of your life as it exists right now, and then you move into gratitude, you're going to be okay. You're going to have a really good luck with this class and in communication with spirit, because that's where they are. So let's do that now. I want you to say with your room muted, I'm making peace with where I am. And hopefully you mean it. Maybe you've never done that before. So it might take you, might have to say it a few times to really convince yourself that everything's okay. There's peace here. And then acknowledge that every part of it was not created by, some of it might have been created by your husband or your wife or your mom or your dad. But most of it, let's face it, if it's in your life, you created it. So own it. Whether you like it or not, own it. It's part of your creation. It's part of your God beingness. Probably has something to teach you. Now it's not so scary, right? Because you're looking for the wisdom. Now begin intentions or prayers, perhaps to release something, to get in alignment with something, to change something, to manifest something, and open to help. In fact, the words that I say throughout the day and every single day of my life is, I need help. I say it when I'm combing my hair and there are snarls, the comb goes through. I say it when there's anything wrong with the car, usually the car will start, or anything wrong with the computer. I say, I need help, send help. Sometimes it's just being overwhelmed. I have a lot on my plate. That's my own doing. And when I say I need help, they come in and help me smooth it out, focus on something specific so I could get it done, enjoy it while I'm doing it, put everything else aside. Okay, hopefully that is making sense to you. I hope so. Remember, you're not alone. So a lot of this is asking for help and being in a position to receive it. Okay. Communication and channeling exercises to assist you in activation and the growth of your pineal gland or your third eye. So if you look at the diagram, between the two halves of your brain is a very small little pink organ there. It's shaped like a pine cone, but it has color receptors just like an eyeball. This is the organ that God gave you to communicate with spirit, to channel, to be telepathic, to receive inspiration from spirit. It's almost like your own personal radio transmitter. But guess what? It has an off and an on switch, and the on switch is in the heart. When your heart is filled with love and you're grateful, you're in appreciation, and you've surrendered the mind, you're not trying to analyze anything, that's when the pineal gland becomes effective. It starts to work. Of course, you might say it's not that simple. Well, it's true. It's not that simple. There's also the pituitary and the hypothalamus and the whole study of how it works. If you're interested, there are classes on that. But you don't have to study. Well, it's like driving the car. You get your driver's license without understanding how the car works, how the engine runs. It's a little bit like that. You want to have the basics and then take it to work. So in my world, I think my pineal gland has pretty much always been open, as it is in many children and teenagers. They haven't shut it down yet through taking on a belief system where you don't necessarily believe in spirit or believe in God or believe in the voices of the angels, the voices of the animals. People ask me, have I always been an animal communicator? And I would have to say yes, which explains why I was very confused as a young child and into my preteens, because I didn't know that other people also didn't hear the voices of animals. I thought everyone was like me and everyone heard them. So I was confused as to why they would be mean to an animal or say one thing and do another. And I was raised in rural Nebraska, so I was very confused about how they treated the horses. I had a special thing about horses, and horses knew that. And so I was very popular with the horses that were hard to train because they recognized that I wouldn't hurt them and I would respect them and use. I used to say it to my mom. I remember saying, all you need is love to break a horse, to train a horse or to make friends with a horse. So one of the things that happened in my life is probably starting in third grade, I started studying dance at the local dance school. And my teacher had studied at the University of Hawaii, and she taught Polynesian dance and Tahitian dance. And these are called puilis, rhythm dances that are Polynesian. And then we used to perform them, and later I played drums. I became a tap dancer. The rhythm that you find in life, how can I say it, assists your pineal gland in its growth. So all that was going on for me too, which is another reason why I probably excelled in animal communication and later telepathy with angels and guides. So you might think about doing something that's rhythmic, like, playing the drums, or who knows, maybe you'll tap dance. It works. Do you remember the television show with John Edwards? It was called Crossing Over. He was a medium. Later, he wrote a book. And if you read his book, he'll tell you, he says he believes the reason he was such a successful medium is because for years he was a ballroom dancer. And he believes that repetitive rhythmic movements open the pineal gland, open the third eye. And of course, dancing is repetitive, right? You're doing the waltz or the foxtrot, cha-cha, same steps over and over in different ways. Then he said that he knew someone that he thought was the most advanced in their ability to be an intuitive or a medium. And he said he started out as a janitor. And it's the repetitive motion of the broom and the mop that opened up his third eye. I thought that was really interesting. So think about that, something to share. I personally also believe that the Andara crystals will really greatly assist you in all types of telepathic work, clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience. The Andara crystals have come from a different world. It's a galaxy called Andaria, and they've come through the Stargate. If you study Stargates in the 7th dimension, it's the Andromeda Gate, actually. And they've embedded themselves into the Earth in 2 locations. One is South Africa, and one is Mount Shasta. So I know little to nothing about the ones in South Africa, so I can't help you there. But I know Mickey Magic, that's the name of the person that's the caretaker now for the crystals that have come from Mount Shasta, was Lady Nellie's property. As far as we know, these are the only Andara crystals on the planet. Lady Nellie's passed now, and he's in charge of them. So that's where I get mine anyway. He's very protective of them because they're so powerful, because they're, he's always afraid somebody's going to get a hold of them and abuse them, like, for negativity. I don't even think that's possible because they're so filled with love. I don't think they would ever do anything to harm anyone. But they are powerful. And he put them in a spiral. This is what we call the violet flame. This is not a Photoshop picture. They are emanating the healing energy of the violet flame, like the whales do. Incredible. So I recommend you think about getting some, if your heart calls you, and you can let me know. I get them in from time to time, usually about once a month. I get a shipment. So, and here's what they look like. Different beautiful colors. Very good for channeling, very good for intuition, and naturally beautiful. They are comprised of one element, which is primal matter, basically. They're all the same molecule. They're paramagnetic, which means they don't have, like most crystals have a north and a south pole energy, electromagnetic energy. These don't. And science can't figure them out, which means, again, no duality. You never have to clean them. Also, an Andara crystal put next to another crystal, like quartz, will infuse that crystal with its energy, and it will last for a while, maybe a couple of weeks, and enhance that crystal with more power than it originally would have. They strengthen the human energy field. Of course, they enhance the third eye. This is our crystal skull, Altazar. Altazar is quartz. And as you can see, he's weaving gold into his crystal matrix. He started doing that when he was brought here to my house, and he started doing whale healings with us. And the whales, of course, if you look at our film or you study any of the teachings that we give with the whales, is the ultimate color is the scalar gold light. When we're first working with light body, we use a prismatic energy. It's like opalescent. And then we move into silver and ultimately into gold. And Altazar he's almost all gold on the top now. Pretty cool. He gets it. Well, this is from Puddah. They increase awareness, clean and balance your chakras, activate your energy for channeling, your destiny stones. They're very beautiful, and they do bond with you. They create contracts with you. This is our favorite one. This is called Tranqua. It's Puddah's crystal. And it goes into every healing session, and it usually goes right up on the solar plexus. It's removed a lot of energies. Beautiful. Okay, there's some nice information for you. We'll come back to the gallery and see how you're doing. Anybody have a like a penetrating question or confused about anything we've shared so far?
Question.
Catherine.
Discernment. So I think one of the things that's blocked me from wanting to learn to channel is just making sure that I'm channeling with light beings and not some other being.
Absolutely.
Able to recognize discernment.
Okay.
Do you have
That's
anything
really,
to know about that?
well, I do. I think it's really important. And you get a little further down the road here in this class tonight, you're going to have an affirmation that I would recommend you would use until you feel comfortable on your own. And basically it's given to me by Puddah, so that you don't have to worry about that. Setting the boundary.
Okay.
Okay. Good question. Anyone else? Yvonne.
So I feel like I need to disclose something, Laurie. When I first started trying to connect with benevolent beings, actually what came through was non-benevolent beings disguised as they actually gave the name Metatron and Raphael. They're still with me. I'm doing so much work on myself. I am okay with it. I did that affirmation. At first it was quite upsetting, but I was also told I've done healings. I've been told I'm an indigo soul. And so I think the interference has to do with my soul mission, but it's not stopping me from, that's why I took this class. I'm still trying to connect with benevolent beings, but I actually have these negative entities with me. It doesn't stop me from feeling love, but it's just something I felt I needed to share. When I had no discernment and I had no idea what I was doing,
I'm just saying, I'm raising my hand. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
When the light beings started approaching me when I lived in Baja, Mexico, I was just so happy to see the pretty lights. I had no discernment. I had no common sense about. I didn't. I could totally relate to you, and beings will come to you, just like people will, and they'll pretend to be one thing and they're not. They're another.
Yes.
So, but the thing that I want to ask you now is, there's no reason for you to continue this relationship. All you need to do is have a whale healing, and the whales will clear that for you if you're ready. And they will not only clear it, they'll take these energies off the planet, so they'll never hurt anyone again.
Absolutely. I absolutely would
think about that. But I did exactly what you did. And I had lots and lots of issues over the years. I had rashes. I would clear, and then it wouldn't hold. I was starting to do healing work, and I ended up taking on the other people's energy because I just didn't know how to clear. And it was these dark energies that were still around me. I even had bites on my body. It was really awful. I had to go to the long road because I had taken the short road, so to speak. So what I would tell you now is, if a light being comes to you, or what perceives to be a light being, you need to give it 5 or 6 minutes. You need to ask them to hold that form while you just sit and gaze at them, and ask them to trade love with you, to bring love back and forth from your heart. They won't be able to do that, and they won't be able to hold their form.
Okay.
So a good book to read that will help you understand this is The Journey Home. It's by Reyon, and it's a you call it a novel, basically, which talks about the part of the world that's the dark. We all have light and dark, basically. Okay, would you not say that it's an effort every day to wash your hands, to keep your hands clean? Okay, well, it's an effort every day to keep your home clean too, and your body and your spirit and your connection to light beings. Light beings are not going to drop down and beat up the bad boys. They're not going to do that.
Right.
They absolutely aren't going to do anything to help you if you're playing with dark beings. They're not going to defend you. They're not going to rescue you. They're going to look and see that you're creating with dark beings, and they're going to step back until you're done.
Right. Yes.
That's not their job. It's your job to take care of you. Now, there will be angels that will come in and help you if you get in trouble. You can ask for them. But these really high beings that we want to talk to, they don't do any drama. They don't do war. You know what I'm saying? They don't do defense postures. They just radiate God's light.
Oh,
And
yes. I mean, I've had Archangel Michael helps me. I've connected with someone from my soul family. I've done implant clearing, energetic clearing. So I do a lot of work. I think that has to do, I was told I was one of the 144,000 prophecies light workers. It has to do with my mission. So, but I'm glad I connected with you, and I would absolutely want to do the whale healing. I know I'm completely responsible for everything in my experience. Then I started with no discernment, just kind of like so naive. So I don't expect to be rescued
I
by
totally
anyone.
understand. Been there,
Yeah.
done that, and I respect the fact that you're having the courage to say this.
Yes,
And
thank you.
I would recommend that everybody goes back to square one with the teaching that there's only 144,000 people that are going to be saved or ascend. I mean, doesn't that sound pretty ridiculous when you stop and think about it?
I mean, it does. I couldn't believe that. I do believe I'm an indigo soul, but I think that there's millions of us, and that
I wouldn't say you're an indigo soul. I would say that your soul chose to create an indigo form, which would be your
Okay.
human body. But I'm going to tell you something very quickly, and then if you want to know more about it, you can come and have a DNA calibration session with us. But basically, you have 12 strands of DNA. Everyone does. Most of them are not activated. It's dormant, but they're there. It's the avatar blueprint. Within every 12 strands of every strand of DNA are 12 substrands. Okay, and the 12 substrands times 12 creates 144. So the magic of the DNA is 144, and everyone has that blueprint. Every
Yes.
single human.
Yes.
So, but most people are afraid of it, so they wouldn't tell you that they have the avatar blueprint, but they do. Why? I don't know for sure, but I think it was Marianne Williams that said the only thing we're really afraid of is what we might do with our light.
Yes.
A lot of responsibility to play God down here, but we are God. So when you're ready to play God and you activate that part of your DNA and you're holding that kind of light, you will attract lots of darkness, but it's because they want your lights because they don't have it. It's almost like thirsty people on the street. They don't know where the water is. So they ask you for your water. Now that's not a bad thing. It's just a matter of who you decide you want to play with.
Right.
And who you decide you want to give your water to and who you want to get off the planet. So we do with Puddah, it's part of her job too, is we help dark beings get off the planet. And that's kind of off the radar. I mean, I'm doing that with the whales when I work on you, on one-on-one sessions or group sessions. But it is the task of the whale and the animals to take these beings and wrap them in the violet flame and work with the angelic entourage that's up there and bring them through the portals and then take them off the planet and help them get home. Okay, we don't just dump them. We just make sure they're not on the planet anymore. So they can't really bother anybody anymore. It's part of the great exodus. So not to be afraid of. In fact, that now that you're aware of this, you could stand out in your yard and you could summon all the dark beings on the planet. They probably wouldn't even approach you because they're afraid of your light. And they're afraid of what you just said. They're like, wow, she's powerful.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy you live in Oceanside because you're drive away from where I am in Riverside,
Nice.
California. So
Nice.
Thank you so much for your
Thanks for
time. and that
sharing.
info.
Might as well get that right out on the table that there are beings that will masquerade and we don't want that. So we're going to make certain that doesn't happen in this class. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? All right.
Hi, Laurie.
Did somebody say something?
Yes, this is Sarita.
I can barely hear you, whoever you are. I'm not sure who you are.
This is Sarita. Can you hear me?
A little bit. Can you turn your volume up?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
A little better.
Okay. I just want to share real quick because I never channeling, but the reason why I signed up the class with you because I felt like I have a connection with the animal.
Yes.
And lately, many times when I go to the oceans and I meditate, the dolphins show up, stingray show up,
right.
The whale show up. And recently I went to Cabo San Lucas, on the plane before we get to the Cabo San Lucas, I looked down from the plane and I saw 4 whales swimming, along with the plane.
Mm-hmm.
I can see them. And then when they get off the plane that night, I saw them, they come to my bedroom while I was meditating.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I have a dinner cruise with my husband to go outside to take the boat. And then I asked the captain, they said they haven't seen the whale yet, but they should be here soon. And I told them, I said, well, we're going to see them today and going to see 4 of them. And then when we get out and suddenly, the dolphin, the whole family is swimming along the boat. And the seal, swimming, very, very laugh and, make me laugh and fun, have so much joy the whole time. And then toward the end, the captain said, look, sweeter, see the whale, and they're like, I can hear them and they swim. And that's, and then I felt and then I saw you on Lauren show and just maybe something that I need to,
Sure.
step into this.
Well, it sounds like you're being called directly from them to connect.
Yes.
So right place, right time.
And then my cat that crossed over, she's 21 years old. And the day after that she crossed, I meditate and I can feel her come to my heart. And then she expand. I felt like my heart so expand. I feel the love from her so much. And I cry nonstop, and I felt and Master Puddah looked just like my cat too. That every time I see Master Puddah, I'm just I miss my cat. Her name is Fiona.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. Gonna get you guys on track here with some more information. Okay, if I opened the wrong one. Okay. So we talked about reasons to channel. So we're going to have some different assignments, but one of the ones I'd like you to do is I'd like you to take some time this week and I'd like you to explore someone who's channeling right now that you admire. I'd like you to listen to, 2 or 3 different types of channels. I'm going to tell you some that I really like. I like Bashar, Bashar. You can investigate him. In fact, he has a class Saturday, but he has them all the time. But you could look at some of his YouTubes. Judith K. Moore. She channels Mary Magdalene. She's actually an aspect of Mary Magdalene. Esther Hicks with channeling Abraham. So many great channels that will be helpful for you. I like Meg Benedict. She does some amazing channeling. I like Celia Fenn, Celia Fenn, Fenn. Anybody else want to shout out somebody you like to listen to? Oh, Cryon, of course, Kryon. Choices to get familiar with what other people are doing in their channeling. And when you start channeling, it may not be long. It might just be a prayer. It might be just a short piece of information, but it can expand. Okay, so that's your assignment. I'm moving on. How does it happen? When you connect your heart to your third eye, that's your pineal gland, with powerful intention, you can change your ability to hear the voices of others, to hear the voices of spirit, of animals, and nature beings. So we literally have taught thousands of people over the years to reclaim this most amazing gift that I call your birthright. So Puddah is going to guide you as we do the different exercises, if you want her to, and bring you into a personal journey of consciousness that we can open up to hear. And if you haven't muted your room, please do so now. Imagine the possibilities in your life and the changes you can make when you actively begin to use this gift. It translates into telepathy, translates into channeling, it translates into communication with your guides. I would say everyone probably knows they have this ability. I hope they do, but very few people actually use it. So it's about claiming this gift, and it's about passion, and great intention in your body that you want this. Law of attraction has proven that what you think and what you feel, you get. You bring it into form. So perhaps you will want to join with the group of like-minded people that choose to hear the voices of spirit in the realm of channeling. Okay. It can really help you know yourself better too. I have to say that. I wrote, it is my intention to help bring the wisdom that is within you into this class. Think of your wisdom as the tapestry of your life. What will you weave with this wisdom? What colors of thread will you use to weave with? Who have you met or know now that are beneficial energies in your life to embrace and give thanks for? Think about that and allow that energy of those people or those animals to build a foundation for you to climb, to climb up on and stand on that foundation and say, I'm ready for more. Channeling is self-empowerment really at its finest, because when it happens, you're ready to share the best part of you with the best part of someone else. When you make contact with a being of light that wants to connect with you for the greater good, every cell in your body responds to this truth. The beings that cause this effect in your body are worth hearing, and perhaps you'll choose to channel them. Know that with a pure heart and a pristine vibration, the truth always allows you to begin to claim a higher vibration and to embody more light. So start thinking about what the possibilities would be. Over the years of doing this, let's say I've had people channel dolphins. Dolphins are easy to channel, but what you'll do is you'll end up channeling the higher self of a dolphin, perhaps even an ascended dolphin. Now that dolphin might have a body in the ocean somewhere, but we'll be working with the higher being, the higher self, the I am presence of that dolphin. Okay? Just like Master Cat Puddah has a body, but we're not really channeling Master Cat Puddah, we're channeling her oversoul, which is Seth, just quite a bit different. So manifestation becomes easier to do this as we use what we call solution energy in our daily lives. I want you to know that there's an answer to everything that you have a question for. And if you don't have the answer yet, part of it is because you're not asking in the right way to receive the information, or because maybe you don't think that you're ready to hear the answer yet. And that might be true too. I ask questions all the time where my guides and Puddah will say to me, no, I can't answer that. Not yet. Give me a little more time, or, I'm not in the right space to hear the answer to that. It would confuse me. And it would keep me from doing something else that they want me to do, if that makes sense. So when you're working with conscious creation and conscious creators, we move into this streamline of energy that we're calling intentional evolution. And you have to have discernment when it comes to intentional evolution. And you have to be willing to hear no. Okay, willing to hear no, I'm not the one for you. Or, but the class is actually taught, I don't know how valuable that is to you, because the class is actually taught where we invoke the beings to come to us, and then you make the choice. In other words, let's say 10 beings will come to you, and you're going to choose one of them, and I'll give you some exercises to help you choose the one that would be the best choice for you, and that will come through your guides. Okay, so when you have knowledge of your true self that's activated within you, you can step more easily into this merger of energy that we call channeling. I want you to know that. The teachings of Seth are about living and creating from the heart, and knowing, absolutely knowing, that you are the creator of your own experience. So channeling becomes a choice, and it becomes a noble choice. When you are ready to channel, it means you are ready to share. And sharing love is what will make it real on earth for you. So it becomes then about the relationship you form with the being of light that you've chosen to work with. Okay? So you might want to write this down. It all begins in the heart, must go into the heart. Next week, we'll work a little bit more with heart energy, but I'm going to trust right now, with all the meditation we've done and the prep work, the prayer, the sacred space, that you can get into your heart. Okay? I'm going to trust that in the morning, you're going to wake up and go outside and do a unity breath. like we did, center below, dropping into the earth, breathing the earth's energy, center above, connecting to the sun, breathing the sun's energy, and turning your energy to your own soul, as you say, center within the heart, and using the power of triangulation to change the vibration for the day. Do that in the morning, then start doing it every morning and watch your vibration change if you're not already doing that. Okay. The next step is for people who want to have a real serious, more expansive view of channeling. You're going to want to activate your Merkaba if you haven't already. That will come from you having deep self-love for yourself and wanting to remember how to do it, for starters, and how to claim the light body, which is called the Merkaba. And that's something that I'm not teaching in this class, but I'm happy to explain it to you personally if you call me or email me. And you'll start radiating what we call galactic core energy. And the beings that are in your star family they're watching you. And when you turn on that light, that Merkaba, you activate that, they will come and help you in a way that they haven't been able to help you now because your vibration was too low. So think about that. Okay. All right. So let's go practical now. So when you're listening to spirit, or you're asking a question of spirit and you're listening to the answer, you need to have a very good, reliable yes and no in your body. In other words, you need to be able to ask a question and hopefully receive information, but you absolutely need a good yes and a good no. So if you don't have that, I think that you should work on that and establish that in your body. I call that guide phonetics. So I'm going to just stop for a minute here. Come back to you guys. How many already have a good yes? You can hear spirit say yes. Okay, are there anybody that doesn't have a yes? That you don't trust the yes? Really? Okay. So somebody tell me why you wouldn't trust spirit speaking to you and giving you an A-okay, a yes. What happened to make you not trust them? Anybody?
Laurie, for me, I can get yes and no in my body, but I don't hear anything auditory that's from
That's
benevolent.
fine. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I don't know if you need to hear it, you need to see it, you need to feel it, you need to get it somehow.
Okay,
Good
yes.
and a good no. And
Okay.
those would fall into the realms of clairaudience, clairsentience, clairvoyance, claircognizance. Some people will hear the word yes. Some people will see it written on a blackboard. Some people, their body will go forward. Some people will go to the right. Some people will see lights. It's all different. Each person's different.
Okay.
And what your yes is has nothing to do with the rest of the people on the planet. That's your yes. Same thing with your no. But you do need to have that. I mean, you're not going to do too well in the realms of spirit communication until you establish that. And you owe it to yourself just for life to be able to ask spirit a question. Is it if I go down the street and I turn over here and I go over there and I meet this person, is that for my highest and best good? And the spirit says no, you should be able to hear that. So you don't do it. Right?
Okay. Yes, thank you. I can feel it.
Okay, good. That's
Thank
just
you.
for everybody. So work on it. Another way to work on it is with a pendulum and do muscle testing. But to do muscle testing, you have to come to a place in your life where you absolutely don't know the answer and you can admit it. You can say, I don't know the answer. I want to know the answer, but I don't know the answer. So I'm not trying to influence the answer. I really want to know the truth. That's when a pendulum can help you. For example, where you kind of stand back and see the forest for the trees, so to speak. It can become very effective. So here's a pendulum. You want to infuse it with your own energy, meaning put it to your heart, say some prayers, cleanse and purify it, declare it holy. Then you say to your pendulum, show me yes, and it will. There we go. It won't be the same as mine, probably not. Show me no. There we go, it shifts. Show me uncertain or maybe, and then it shifts. So, but in order to use this effectively, in the question you ask, you have to absolutely not know the answer and be willing to hear what spirit would say to you. Otherwise, your body will influence it and it will show you exactly what you want. Like a little kid, can I have vanilla ice cream? Yes. Can I have chocolate? Yes. Can we go to the park? Yes. Can we go to Disneyland? Yes. You see what I'm saying? You think you already know the answer, then it's not going to work for you. So you know. Let's see what else we got on the handout here.
Okay, so yes, the circular.
So it's well worth having as a backup plan to muscle test. I think it works. One of the ways I really like it is if I don't have a lot of time and I'm adjusting my vitamins or my supplements, because I have different challenges. You probably do too. So I'm always muscle testing for the amount and should I take this vitamin? Should I take the supplement? Should I take it in the morning? Should I take it twice a day? How much should I take? It works really well. And you can get a very customized plan. Same thing with your food. Ask your pendulum if you don't know what your body wants. Does my body want broccoli or does it want asparagus? You see what I'm saying? So, okay, so it's already 5:30 and we do want to practice. So we've shared a lot of information. So let's put some of that to work now. The easiest and fastest way for me to teach you to communicate with anybody else is triangulation. Okay, and I teach it when I teach animal communication. I teach it when I'm teaching guide communication. There are lots of other ways too, but tonight we're going to work with triangulation. So what I want you to do is ground yourself. And I want you to go to the same place that you grounded when we set up the grid tonight. Say hello to Mother Earth and to the elementals. And bring that energy up to your heart space. And ask it to fill your whole heart to the place where Mother Earth's energy starts to flow into your bloodstream and starts to change the whole vibration of your body. And the reason I'm doing that is because the first being we're going to work with is Master Cat Puddah. And she's in a cat body, so she's very connected to the earth, more than you are, more than I am. Animals are very, very connected, paws on to the earth. So you bring the energy of the earth all the way up to the heart, and now you bring it up the prana tube to the third eye, which is located between the two halves of your brain. Okay, to the third eye. And let's put our blindfolds on. And let's start to see the energy of your third eye growing. Like let's say you were able to put your hand inside your head and massage it, and it would feel good, just like when you have a physical massage, like on your back or your feet. Okay? So start to use the energy of the earth that you brought up to the heart and now up to the third eye to massage your third eye. And I'm going to play some music. And the first thing I want you to do is to take your tongue up, the tip of your tongue up to the roof of your mouth. Okay? And I want you to massage the roof of your mouth very gently with the tip of your tongue while you're doing the light massage of the third eye. So have two things going on at once. The light's coming up from the earth up to the heart. It's coming up to the throat chakra, up to the third eye. And it's like, think of one of those big fountains that are exploding with water. And your third eye is sitting right on top. And it's getting bounced around and it's getting massaged with that water. Now turn that water into the light of God. And at the same time, massage the roof of your mouth with the tip of your tongue. And people are going to say, oh, my tongue gets tired. Yeah, well, that's too bad. Keep doing it anyway. And I'm going to put on some soft music from the whales. And we're going to ask to raise our vibration so that we can talk to Master Cat Puddah in her higher self, which would be Seth. Okay. I clicked the wrong one. There we go. And again, you should have your blindfold on or a scarf. And I'm going to set the timer. We're going to do this for 3 or 4 minutes with the intention of energizing the third eye, opening it to be more useful. And the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth is energizing the heart and the third eye connection. It's making it more powerful. Nice. So let the sound of the whales just soothe your energy And I'll come back in about 3 minutes and we'll see how you're feeling. Okay, good. Okay, so now I want you to remember what we learned about triangulation, that we move out of duality, right? We move out of linear time, we move out of judgment. We just move into the God presence of love. And can everybody see her picture on the screen? No? Okay. I'm just gonna remember if I click the button. I will do that now. I'm learning my new computer here. Okay, can everybody see that? Can somebody say yes or no?
Yes.
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 Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Okay. So now remember, we're not actually connecting to the physical body of Master Cat Puddah, even though that might be fun. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying we're going to work with the energy of her higher being. So in the next part, in the meditation, when you put your blindfold on, I want you to see her picture as the last thing you do before you put your blindfold on. And if you don't have a blindfold, you're not going to be able to probably do this. I'll just tell you now, most people can't do it without a blindfold. The reason is you need to shut out the physical light. So you need a good thick scarf or some kind of good blindfold. And a good one to purchase if you want is Mindfold, MINDFOLD. You can get it at mindfold.com. It has padding, it's washable in the sense of it blocks out all the light. It's very comfortable, even sunlight. You can meditate in the sunlight. And you'll have a different experience. What you're trying to do is get your third eye to activate with the inner light. And it won't do it if there's physical light coming in, or it's probably won't. I shouldn't say it won't, it probably won't. Okay. So if you don't have something that's really secure to put around your eyes, also you should darken the room if that'll help you. Now, because this is inner work. Okay, so when you put your blindfold on, you're going to see her picture as you put your blindfold on. And then as soon as we start the meditation, you're going to see her picture or her physical body turning into light, like she's ascending, or you're seeing her angelic side, which is probably going to be some kind of golden or white light. And then you're going to ask to communicate just out loud. You're just going to say, may I communicate with you? Okay. And before we do that, I have an affirmation for you. And basically, the first part of it is communication. So again, how did we start? We're grounding into the earth, anchoring our light. We're bringing up the earth light as much as you can, up to your physical heart, filling the heart with Mother Earth's light. Now generating that energy in a prana flow that goes all the way up to the third eye, energizing the third eye, and using the tongue massage. Now the next step is we're going to rotate the third eye forward with the blindfold on, and we're visualizing Puddah just like 2 or 3 feet in front of you in her higher being. And you're going to like turn the third eye forward. In other words, in its natural state, the third eye is looking upward. It's looking up through the crown chakra. You're going to rotate it forward like an eyeball. It takes some focus. It takes some practice. And then turn on the light, like we've talked about. Beam it right into her heart, in the sense of her angelic self. What's going to happen next is she's going to beam, or Seth is going to beam energy back to you, but it's going to come directly to your heart. So what we want to do is establish a flow of spirit light that's influenced with the light of Mother Earth, okay, and that's influenced with the power of love. So touch your heart, touch your third eye and rotate it forward. Reach out with your right hand and pretend to touch Puddah or Seth. I have to remember to say Seth. And now touch your heart, because that's how the energy is coming back to you. Touch your third eye between your eyebrows. Reach out with your arm. Imagine touching Puddah. So heart to third eye to Puddah. Heart to third eye to Puddah. And you establish this triangulation energy. Okay? So now, if you have your blindfold on, take it off for a minute, because we're going to do an affirmation. Okay, so we say, this is an affirmation to summon Seth for me to channel. Okay, and we've pretty much just checked your energy and your prana flow, right? Like checking that you're grounded, that the energy is flowing up to your heart, it's flowing up to your third eye, and your third eye is now rotating forward, or at least it will when you put your blindfold on. And you're going to beam it like a flashlight into Seth, okay? All right, now I want you to say out loud, center below, that means you're grounded. Center above, that means you're connected to the sun. And center within, that my consciousness is in my heart. I am radiating core energy. So I want you to see yourself as a lighthouse, and your lighthouse has 2 lights. One is sweeping counterclockwise and one is sweeping clockwise. So see the lights rotating, which is the lighthouse of your heart. And see them going counterclock, both of them going around at different directions. And say, radiating core energy. Okay, now we're going to say these affirmations. And this is to raise your vibration and continue to triangulate. You say, I am that I am. And as you say it out loud, the first time you connect to the earth. The second time, I am that I am, you connect to the sun, which is the God source. The third time you say it, I am that I am, you connect to your heart. And that's the triangulation. And then we'll say the others and do the same visualization until we get down to here. And then we say, I am here, I am open, I am ready. And then you'll put your blindfold on and you'll connect to the energy of Seth. And because I communicate, all the time with Puddah, she's telling me she's already prepared a message for everyone. Everyone will receive a message. It's not a long one, but it's something that's personal for you. Okay, here we go. Center below. Center above. Center within. I am radiating core energy. 3 times now, and you know what to do. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am holy, sacred, and divine. Grounding. I am holy, sacred, and divine, touching the sun. I am holy, sacred, and divine, touching your heart. And we continue. I am love and I am light. Should be grounding. I am love and I am light. You know what to do. I am love and I am light. I am divinity embodied. I am divinity embodied. I am divinity embodied. I declare myself an instrument of purity and truth. I declare myself an instrument of purity and truth. I declare myself an instrument of purity and truth. Okay, in this next part, we say 1 time. I ask my higher self to assist me now in making a divine connection with the soul of Seth and the consciousness and the body of Master Cat Puddah. I am here. I am open. I am ready. Okay, so I'm going to play some nice music. You're going to meditate with Seth through the process of triangulation with your blindfold on. And when you start to receive a message, obviously take your blindfold off and write it down. Okay, enjoy. Everybody please come back. Let's talk about what happened for you, if anything, and what that felt like. Did everybody make contact? You can unmute yourself if you want to talk. That would be great right now.
Can I share?
Nobody made contact?
Oh, hi. Hi, Laurie. This is Barby.
Okay.
It was really, really cool. I felt this really warm sensation. I usually feel things, and I felt this warm sensation at the back of my neck.
Nice.
And I heard "you are free," and then this dress I was holding that I had no idea I was holding was almost like released. And then, of course, my daughter walks in the room, flips the light on, so I threw everything off. It was almost like she sensed somebody was there. It was weird. And then she was looking at me really funny and laughed. And then I went back with the blindfold, and I continued to feel that unraveling. It was really, really cool. I feel very relaxed right now.
How old is your daughter?
She's 12.
Okay. So be sure and try to explain to her what you're doing so she's not afraid, okay?
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Yeah. And then tell her that, when you're meditating, to give you some space, but there's nothing to be afraid of. So she understands that we're talking about different ways to speak to the energy of that which we call God.
Okay.
So she's not afraid. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. Who else? Don't be shy.
Okay.
This is your class. It'll be a lot more fun if you share.
I had a lot of opening in my heart area and felt very grounded and felt the circling of the three energies.
Nice.
And then I clearly heard some phrases and felt again an echo of that enlarging in my heart. And for a moment, doubt in my mind came in, and so I set that aside and just started from the bottom again. I put my feet on a rock and
good grounding. Yeah.
and started again, and this time with more colors and more visual thing, and the words like in the distance now. The
Okay.
same thing came through, and it was, "You are love, trust yourself, I am here."
Beautiful. Do you align with that message? Okay, good. Thanks, BZ. That's wonderful. I'd say you made contact. And if it was your first time, don't be too hard on yourself, but allow it to come in. Who else wants to share on the experience? Okay. Bean. Okay.
See, who did you call on?
C Bean.
Thank you. I'm C. I almost immediately felt connected, and there was just this wonderful flow of energy. My cat, Noah Kitty, showed up and started talking through the whole this whole time. He's been in and out, and usually this is not normal for him, but I know he's truly a high being. I received a lengthy message that really resonated with some experiences and familiarity that I've had in the past. And I was really reminded to call on Seth and Yeshua and the Magdalens and Akhenaten, actually, to help me with some things that I'm interacting with, right, and I'm pursuing right now. So I was really grateful for that.
Good. Do you want to share a few words of your message?
Wait, my kitty's on my notebook.
It's like it's time to, you know what I'm getting? She wants you to channel her. You got to unmute your room.
Sorry. So to call on that they're with me and to call on them, just that they're my holy team. And
very good.
Sorry, Kitty, he's helping me again. They referred to me as Beloved C and then my full name, Cynthia Marie Bean. And when I was younger, I would hear messages and hear, so it is, so be it, as I was writing. And they said this to me and said, "You remember us from when you were younger?" And it's like, oh, this is who was with me. I did not have an identity or a group awareness. So it was really lovely to have them all come forward.
It's beautiful.
With Seth. Yes, thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Let's go to
It's me,
Alicia,
Sarita.
and then we'll go to is it Anne that's raising her hand? Okay, Alicia first.
Okay. My message came pretty fast. I had my mask on for about 10 seconds. So that was kind of interesting. So what I heard was, you are a blessed being. The man that you are with is who you're meant to be with. You have a past life with him in Egypt together as husband and wife, but you switched roles. He is your life partner. Don't be afraid. Very relevant.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Is that welcome news?
Yeah, I adore him. I've never met anyone like him in my life, so it's very different for me. So this is like real love, real love. So
Congratulations.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Anne, what'd you get?
I didn't get a lot. I got at the beginning, you are a beloved being, and I got some pictures of things that I didn't recognize. But I studied with a man who spent 9 months with Jane Roberts when she was channeling Seth, and he started, and he started channeling Seth after she died. So I've had a lot of experience with him, and I just think he's wonderful. I just really enjoy him.
That's nice. And now you. It's your turn.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing. There's a lot more I'm hearing where that came from. Who else would like to share?
It's me, Sarita.
Sarita.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I get it right. At first, I have a little bit hard time to. I think I'm too focused, and then I start to see Master Puddah walking into the patient room, and Master Puddah said, I'd like to do the healing. I like to visit visit people to healing, and then I see Seth energy is very big, white, very white, pure, and have like the flower of light, golden flower of light on forehead. And Seth told me that to go into the heart to heal people. Like Master Puddah does is Master Puddah go into the heart and then open the heart, and use and stay in the Merkaba and do that. And I said, well, it's kind of difficult for me. And three dolphins show up and dance, do the dance, follow the music, and make it fun, and I feel like I want to dance with them. It got me to relax, that I can connect with Master Puddah and Seth more. And the message that I get from Master Puddah and Seth is to practice to be in the heart.
Absolutely. The goal is to be there 24/7, not to
and
leave,
have
not
fun.
to ever try to analyze anything or,
and keep
are
having fun all the time.
Yeah. Very good. And if you haven't worked with the heart energy, you're going to really love it. Takes all the pressure off. And I'm not joking when I say the solution energy is in the heart. I don't care how dark, whatever's going on in your life. If you get into the heart, you're going to get the answers. You stay in the mind, you're going to bounce it back and forth. Puddah calls it the eternal ping pong game. When you can think of something really great to do in your mind, and then 30 seconds later, your mind will go, that's stupid. You can't do that. You know, you know what I'm saying? Your mind will talk you out of the most important things. So stay away from it. In other words, it never was meant to operate your life. It's not equipped to. It's not even what Puddah would call a sentient organ. It's meant to function as an analytical organ, as a transmitter, as a receiver, and as a storage data bank, but it's not meant to make decisions. Definitely not meant to give you advice. So stay in the heart and you won't be disappointed. You guys did great. So are you clear on your homework? You're going to listen to some different channels between now and next week. Kind of get, you know, just get into the vibe of like, okay, let's see what's going on out there in the channel world. And of course, you're only going to be listening to people who are, their intention is to bring great amounts of wisdom and light to the world, you know, to help guide people. Those are the channels you want to be listening to, for people who have a way to do that, like Seth does. And then next week, we're going to channel 4 categories of beings outside of Seth. But I want you to continue to work with Seth at least once a day, like, you know, maybe for 15 or 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And maybe at the end of the week, you'll have a few little channels from Seth that are guiding for you, okay? So you keep doing that, and then we're going to introduce the new categories. And by the 3rd week, you will have made a decision about the category, and then the beings are going to start to approach. Okay, then things really change. Anybody have a question before we close? Jan. Can't hear you.
Sorry. Who was the man that studied with Jane Roberts after she died or before she died?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought, does Ann know?
It was John Friedlander.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anne, did you have a question?
Yeah, how soon are we going to be able to get the recording of this?
Probably tomorrow.
Will come an email?
I'll send you a link, and then it will take you to a private web page.
Cool. And then
every week we'll add the next class, and they'll all end up being on the same page.
Will we be able to get transcripts of your slides? I really liked your slides.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I don't do that. It's
okay.
Part of my work. Yeah.
I understand.
Thank you, though. But you'll be able to watch them multiple times.
Okay, thanks.
You bet. Okay, Alicia.
So as far as connecting with Seth, we just go back through the same meditation again, watch that over.
Yeah, and I'll on the screen, you know, when you watch the replay, you'll have the invocation if you want to write it down.
Okay.
It's not required, but and you can alter it. You know, I mean, you can use that as a base to create your own, because we're going to be using it for lots of beings, not just Seth.
Okay.
But you saw how well it worked. So what's the first thing that you learned, if you didn't already know, or what did you already knew that was reinforced? Let's all say it.
Stay in the heart.
To be in the heart. Second thing, raise your vibration. Raise it as high as you can, using all different types of modalities, using the unity breath, you know, connecting to the earth. I don't care, you know, meditate with flowers, do whatever you have to do to raise your vibration. Shut out anything that isn't light and love, and see how high you can go, because how high you can go is how well you'll be able to channel. That's not a competition, but it is important to understand that you've got to move out of any kind of negativity, okay? Okay, so channel Seth and listen to other channels to inspire you, and we'll go to the next level next Thursday. So thank you, everyone. Just go into your heart as we close the space. Mother, Father, God, we're so grateful for each of these beings that have chosen to, with their precious time, to come to this class, to connect with the soul of Seth, myself, Master Cat Puddah, and tonight, Samuel. We are eternally grateful, really, for the opportunities to work with people like yourself that are motivated, inspired, and want to reach out and create more light and love than was there just a moment ago. So stay on this path of being heart opened, heart opening beings that truly use the power of love in your life to change. And we're grateful for you. So we close the sacred space with reverence and honor by saying the words, we give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks. The sacred space for the March 25th class is now closed. Okay. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you very
Bye,
much.
everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have fun.